In today's lesson, we're going to have a look at word types. Now, for most of us, these will be recognizable terms that we've heard since the beginning of school, but it's always important to remember that refreshing that knowledge is a good way to ensure that you don't make mistakes later in life. So today, we're going to have a look at nouns, adjectives, verbs, and adverbs. Okay, let's start with the most fundamental of word types, nouns. These sit at the heart of every single language in the world, and nouns are essentially the name of a thing, a place, or an item. Okay, there is a subset of nouns that we call pronouns, and these essentially are words like I, we, they, it, and these are things that help us recognize within a sentence who the subject of that sentence is, whether it's about an individual, a group, or a specific item. So let's have a look at some of these sentences and see if we can figure out what the nouns are within them. The boy and girl were holding hands as they crossed the bridge on the way to town. Take a moment, look at this sentence. Where are the nouns? Next sentence. I love watching my cat play with the pink yarn. Which of these are nouns in this sentence? It is raining. Everyone grab your umbrella and rain hat and watch out for the puddles. Which are the nouns in this sentence? Okay. Hopefully you've picked out the correct nouns, which are now in bold in front of you. If you have missed some out, take a look at the words that you have missed out and try and figure out, why is that a noun? Why did I not spot that? Next up are adjectives. Now, while nouns sit at the heart and are really the bread and butter of the English language, adjectives are what give our writing filling, gives it some meat to their bones, as it were. Adjectives are what allow us in the English language to take the simple concept of a car and enhance it through ambitious adjectives to describe an old car, something a bit faster, more modern, something that's been forgotten to time, perhaps even something futuristic. Without adjectives, simply saying a car, your reader is not able to envision what you can see in your mind. This is why they're such an important aspect to include in your writing. So let's take a look at how using different and ambitious adjectives can really enhance a piece of writing. So let's look at this short extract. The girl made her way into the city centre. She had to buy a present for her grandmother. She had only got £10 left. By using some ambitious adjectives, we create two very distinct and different stories. The bold, ambitious girl made her way into the immense and lifeless city centre. She had to buy a magnificent present for her obnoxious grandmother. She had only got £10 left. Now let's compare that with this piece of text, with changing only the adjectives. The greedy, grumpy girl made her way into the elegant and lively city centre. She had to buy a present for her glamorous and joyful grandmother. She had only got £10 left. Hopefully you can hear and see the difference that a few short, simple adjectives can make to enhancing and completely changing a piece of writing. Why not have a go yourself? Remember, the only thing you are allowed to change are the adjectives. They all went to the party at the house. There was a cake and decorations. The music was... So you can have a go at writing something positive about this party, or write the party as if it was one of the worst ever. But remember, you can only add and change the adjectives, nothing else. If you'd like, you can now pause the video and have a go at this task. Next up are verbs. These are most recognised as action words. In terms of how to spot them, you will find it easy if you're looking for words that end in ing or ed. So some examples of verbs are throwing, accepted, thought, visiting, and leave. There is a myriad of verbs out there, and some of them more ambitious and interesting than others. One thing I do want to point out though with verbs, especially in terms of grammar, is their use and consistency within your work has to be correct. When you're dealing with things like tenses, verbs are one of those few words that can change if it is in the past or in the present or future. So with this previous list, I want you to have a look at thrown and thinking. These have been affected by the words throwing and thought by the sense of time. Are they words in the past or the present? Being aware of this rule and making sure that you are consistent throughout your writing will ensure you create a good, solid, grammatically correct piece of writing, and your readers won't become confused. Finally, we have adverbs. So just as adjectives describe nouns, adverbs are words that describe verbs. We often can spot and recognise them because they often will end in ly. However, there are some exceptions to this rule, such as the word too, which we mean by too much or too little of something. However, others, such as quickly, eventually, regrettably, and ecstatically, are all good, ambitious adverbs that we can use in our writing to enhance it further. So let's take a look at how we can use all of these word types together to enhance our writing. This particular extract contains very few ambitious words and very few adjectives, verbs, and adverbs to enhance the writing. The house at the end of the street was a wreck of a house. On many winter's nights, people had heard sounds, seen lights, and figures pass the windows. No one wanted to go near the place. They were afraid of what could happen to them. Now, with a few adverbs and a few alterations to the adjectives that occur in this extract, we can really enhance it. The house at the end of the street was quickly becoming a dismal, rotting, dilapidated wreck of a house. On many cold winter nights, fearful people had heard strange, unearthly sounds, seen bizarre lights and ghostly figures. No one wanted to go near the wretched place. They were too terrified of what could happen to them. All we have done is taken a vocabulary of verbs, adverbs, and adjectives and thought, how can we squeeze them into our writing? So creating a good word list in your head of these different types of words will have a huge effect on your writing. Being able to spot within your own writing where you have missed potential opportunities to squeeze some of these fantastic word types into your own creation is really important skill to have. Okay guys, so let's see if you can do the same. Let's see how much you can enhance this piece of text. So I've written a short passage about Derby College, nothing too technical, but something I think that you could enhance quite easily with some ambitious adjectives and including some verbs and adverbs in there as well. Please bring these extracts with you, your completed extracts with you, to the next lesson so we can see and show them off. Hopefully this lesson has been incredibly beneficial for you. Please remember there is also the audio book connected with this lesson available on the YouTube channel. Finally, I would like to say a big thank you if you have been following these lessons and hopefully you are finding the benefit in doing them. See you in the next lesson.